Good morning, dear participants, and welcome to our online platform. On behalf of the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce, as the chairman of the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce, I would like to express our sincere gratitude for all participants, and especially the representative of the embassies of African states, Ministry for Foreign Affairs, distinguished ambassadors, diplomats, for your participation, for your interest to our conference, your interest to cooperation with Belarusian partners. BelCCI has, as a chamber, has positive experience of cooperation with our traditional partners, I mean chambers of commerce from Egypt, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Sudan. We have 11 memorandum of understanding with our African partners. And I want to know this is not our first forum dedicated to cooperation with modern Africa, we can say. In 2018, we held a successful forum with the participation of diplomats from 5 African countries and over than 200 Belarusian companies. And just a few weeks ago, we organized online seminar with the participation of Belarusian ambassadors in Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and Egypt. Business interest to Africa is absolutely understandable. Many experts, the World Bank, define the African continent as the future driver of world economic development. Africa is a very capacious market with a young and rapidly growing population and a rich storehouse of natural resources. From our side, Belarus is a country with open economy, and Belarus is an important supplier to the global market, food products and fertilizers. We cooperate with over than 180 countries. The products of Belarusian companies are known in Africa, especially tractors, Belarus trucks, dump trucks, Belas, and other one. What concerned this forum, we, together with Ministry for Foreign Affairs, started planning this forum, Africa-Belarus, at the beginning of this year as a combination of 2 elements. One of them is a presentation of Belarus companies to African partners, together with participation in the Belagro exhibition here in Minsk. And then as a second element, presentation of economic profile of African countries to Belarus business. But unfortunately, the global pandemic changed all our plans and leave us only one possibility, online format. Unfortunately, we received this year the new global and main economic actor. His name is COVID-19. But in spite of all problems, I'm sure that today we will be together. Excellent, our joint work and absolutely unique opportunity to present the Belarus companies, Belarus businesses, brief information on business and investment opportunities in African states. 9 African states will be presented here, but in totally 17 embassies from Africa participate in our platform now. And I would like to note that we as a Chamber of Commerce and Industry have 2,535 companies from all sectors of economy. And what is important, that about 80% of our members are non-state enterprises, flexible, mobile companies, motivated for developing cooperation with Africa. And more than 200 companies are participation in our platform now. We have a list of questions of these companies. We already passed all these questions to embassies. We'll be very appreciated for your support to find the answer for all suggestions, all questions, and concerning all projects, what we already have from the Belarusian Business Society. So, dear participants, Your Excellencies, dear ladies and gentlemen, let's start to our unique conference. Unique because it's first time in our history and the first time for the Belarus businesses. It's a unique possibility to have so many partners from African continent at the same platform. So I would like to wish everyone successful work and invite to the microphone the representative of the Belarusian Ministry for Foreign Affairs, head of the Africa and Middle East Department, Dmitry Koltsov. Dmitry, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, let me please welcome you at that video conference. We're glad to see our African colleagues who join us at this important virtual meeting, which will contribute to the development of trade and economic relations between Belarus and African countries. I would like to express my special gratitude to the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing this event. Belarus pays special attention to strengthening ties with Africa in various spheres, primarily in trade and economy. We hope to boost a new level of industrial cooperation, create production ties and technological chains with Africa. Belarusian companies can offer our African partners their scientific, technological, and industrial developments, their experience in upgrading energy, transport, and communications infrastructure. We have established mechanisms of the financial support for export through Belarusian and African banks. Another promising area of Belarus-Africa cooperation is education. Due to the epidemiological situation, we were unable to gather in Minsk for Belarusian African Economic Forum in September this year. We are planning to combine this event with International Agricultural Exhibition Belagra in Minsk next June, and I would like to invite our African partners to take part in that forum. I am confident that during today's video conference, we will set new directions and forms of cooperation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dmitry. Allow me to pass microphone to your colleague from Ministry for Foreign Affairs, Denis Ledyan, the second secretary of the Foreign Economic Department, with the presentation export potential of the Republic of Belarus. Mr. Ledyan, please.
Good morning to everyone. Excellencies, distinguished guests and participants of the meeting. As it was announced, I will talk on the topic Belarus export and economic overview, today and tomorrow profile. Let me share with you the presentation. I see that everyone see presentation on the screen. So, features and advantages of the Republic of Belarus are presented on the slide. Belarus has strong economic opportunities. It is a well-known fact that Belarus is a country with open economy, developed processing industry, agriculture, and actively developing service sector and IT sector. 65% of total production is exported. The rest is for local demand. On this slide, you see some statistics and information concerning Eurasian Economic Union. Belarus is a member of this union. Some particular advantages are the following: free movement of goods, services, funds, and workforce. Producers located in the union are protected by unified customs tariff and non-tariff regulation in trade with third countries. And there is unhampered marketing of Belarus manufactured products in the union. Looking into socioeconomic figures and world ratings, you may see that Belarus has what to be proud of. We have $6.7 thousand GDP per capita, enough foreign and gold reserves, good inflation and refinancing rates. Growth of the real wages of Belarusians is 6% for the last year. Belarus has rather strong positions in international long-term credit and economic ratings. You may see that our place is among other countries on the slide. We have high Human Development Index and take the 50th position among 188 countries. We are on the 49th place in doing business and took the 24th position by parameter trading across borders. In 2017, Belarus economy recovered after 2 years of recession, and the recovery of this economic activity was facilitated by both internal and external factors. The GDP growth rate was 2.5% and 3.1% in the following years. The surplus in the year 2019 is 1.2%. In the challenging year 2020, we have a very small drop of GDP in comparison with the European Union and other neighboring countries. In January-October 2020, decrease is only 1.1%. But we are looking to recovery of economic activity in the second part of the next year, because we all hope that the pandemic will be successfully overcome and the world trade will recover. As for foreign trade, Belarus maintains good trade relations with most countries of the world. Trade partners and export structure are presented in the charts. In 2019, Belarusian goods were exported to 189 countries and territories. Our major export commodities are coke and oil products, chemical products, transport, machinery, equipment, food, metal products, and wood products. Major trade partners are Russia, European countries, and one more neighboring partner, Ukraine. Belarus also increases its export to other destinations, Eurasian Economic Union, Asian countries, Africa, and other countries. We also trade with Latin and North American countries. Belarus has rather good trade relations with African countries and consider Africa as a prospective region for further cooperation development. What Belarusian products are demanded in Africa? There are such traditional Belarusian products as potash and mineral fertilizers, tractors and trucks, tires and other petrochemical products, metal products, machines and mechanisms for agriculture, road and construction machinery, woodworking products, X-ray equipment, and some food products like sugar, milk, and mud. What do we import from Africa? We import a lot of flowers, fruits, cocoa, natural phosphates, copper, rubber, and women clothing. The volume and commodity structure could be significantly increased and diversified. I'm sure that business is ready for that. What is our country specialized? Belarus is not large in territory, but occupies a significant world market share in manufacturing truck vehicles, buses, quarrying equipment, and tractors. One of the world-known companies is Belarus, which mining truck remains in Guinness Book as the biggest one, with the load capacity 450 tons. Belarus is also a leading producer of agricultural equipment such as tractors, grain, and all kinds of forage harvesters. Minsk Tractor Work, under the trademark, is one of the major manufacturers of the tractors. Gomselmash harvesters. You may hear about Minsk Automobile Plant, MAS trademark, which is famous for its victories in the World Truck Championship Dakar. First-rate exporters of mineral fertilizers are Belaruskali and Grodno Azot. 90% of the output is exported to 100 countries across the globe. Belarus has a lot to propose to foreign partners. We have a highly developed industry with its share being at the rate 26% of the GDP. Trade and services count also a significant share. The structure of GDP and Belarus capabilities you see on this slide. Agriculture and food processing industry play an important role in Belarus economy. Agriculture sector accounts at about 7% of GDP. Numerous agriculture goods are exported. As for the interesting facts, Belarus is one of the major potato producers in terms of potato production per capita. Belarus is top 5 country among the world flax fiber manufacturers. Belarusian companies satisfy almost all needs of the domestic food market, including baby food sector. Food import accounts less than 10% of total consumption, And this is food security interest of the government. A lot of attention is paid to product quality control. The important advantage of the Belarusian food is that for the most part, it doesn't contain GMO, genetically modified organisms. Belarus is a world leader in production of some dairy products and top exporter of these goods along with Australia, New Zealand, USA, and European Union countries. According to the previous year results, Belarus ranks third in the world of export of butter, fourth in cheese and skim milk powder, and fifth in the world total milk export. In these ratings, charts, European countries are presented as total, not by country. Wide range of petrochemical products is produced in Belarus, including oil products, glass and polyester fibers, tires, industrial pipes, paints, and so on. Recently, Belarus woodworking industry was given a second breath, and a number of companies upgraded their means of production. Some of famous export products are presented on the slide. Belarus has a developed light industry. At about 500 enterprises produce a wide variety of goods. The major light industry enterprises are members of concern Belgaprom. They produce 80% of the goods, which are exported to 59 countries. Goods from linen, traditional natural fabric, are in demand abroad. Pharmaceutical sector refers to one of the high-tech priority industries in Belarus. Medicines are manufactured by 31 enterprises, 16 of which have GEP certificates. Products are exported to 29 countries, and half of the domestic market needs are satisfied by Belarusian medicines. The slide demonstrates our potential opportunities for export and reserves for development of trade relations. Among new and innovative products marketed by Belarus internationally are science-intensive products like air drones with advanced characteristics, aerospace monitoring systems and earth remote sensing processors, optical and laser devices, game development, and IT products. The intensive development of IT sector in Belarus started a long time ago, in the year 2005, with special tax legal frames implementation and creation of high-tech park. In the beginning of 2018, the President Decree of Development of Digital Economy came into force. Business community and foreign experts called it breakthrough, as legal frames became favorable for product-based businesses. Before the decree, working model of IT companies was outsourcing software development with further transferring ownership rights to the client. After that, IT companies focused on developing their own products and promoting them to a vast range of consumers. Belarus High-Tech Park gave rise to hundreds of new companies with new products and focus areas. It provides minimal taxes, instruments of so-called English law, possibility of free movement of capital, transparent regulations for blockchain and cryptocurrency, and other essential benefits. Residents of High-Tech Park provide services globally to more than 60 Fortune largest companies. 91% of software is exported. Access to qualified workforce, exterritorial principle of registration, and favorable tax regime are among park bonuses. Generally speaking, Belarus has become a leading Eastern European IT hub. The park is steadily growing and plays an important role in the economy. Here are some figures and characteristics about the park. $2.1 billion of export services in 2019, and this figure is 76% growth for the last 2 years, and about 8 times more than in the year 2011. 65,000 of IT specialists are employed by park residents. 2 years ago, this number was double less. As for medical services, Belarus has one of the most advanced healthcare systems in Europe, qualified specialists and effective methods of treatment. A lot of medicines and medical devices are made in Belarus. Foreign citizens usually receive different types of treatment: sophisticated surgeries, transplantations, specialized sanatorium and spa treatment are among them. Foreign citizens note affordable prices and people-oriented approach. At about 2 million people study each year in 8,000 educational institutions. 20,000 foreign students are among them. Economic, technical professions, medical and pedagogical professions, language universities are in demand. Belarus is a safe country, which provides all necessary conditions for comfortable life and study. Untouched nature, traditional cuisine. Belarus is called blue-eyed for its 11,000 lakes and 10,000 rivers. Flora and fauna of Africa continent are totally different from Belarusian ones. Therefore, your citizens get invaluable experience and emotions while visiting Belarus. According to statistics, more than 4,000 people from 46 Africa last year. Foreign tourists find a lot of interesting activities in Belarus. Exploring national features of Belarus, trying the tasty food, visiting ancient historical places, castles, participating in festivals, folklore and historical events are among loved-one activities. More than 5,000 items are listed as historical and cultural heritage of Belarus. Kolyady, Masleniца, Kupala night are among the most famous folk Belarusian holidays. There are a lot of outdoor individual challenging programs and interesting family-oriented trips. So, to sum it up, Belarus is special for everyone, but always remembered with warmth. Thank you for your kind attention and welcome to Belarus.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Ledyan, for your fundamental presentation concerning the export potential of Belarus and in generally the profile of the modern Belarus. But now it's a great pleasure for me to invite to the microphone our special guest, distinguished ambassadors from African states. According with the protocol rule, according with the alphabet, I would like to invite the extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador of Burkina Faso, His Excellency Antoine Somdah. Your Excellency, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I'm very glad to, and it's an honor for me to participate to this great event. I want to congratulate you for organizing this event for Africa and Belarus. Current situation and new beacon for joint business projects. Let me go straight to the matters. There is 10 reasons to invest in Burkina Faso. The first one is the stability based on a permanent quest of social dialogue. The second one is a stable and long-lasting macroeconomic framework. The third one is a clear position for a clear option for a liberal economy through the private sector. The fourth one is a favorable and particularly advantageous legislative and regulatory framework with strong protection and investment security measures. The fifth one is a monetary stability zone and a common currency in the UEMOA space, convertible at fixed parity with the euro. The sixth one is a young, dynamic, and enterprising population, as well as a competitive workforce known to be hardworking. The seventh one is a unique central geographic position at the edge of UEMOA and ECOWAS, offering access to the market of 100 and more and 300 and more million inhabitants, respectively. The eighth one is a buoyant legal environment, harmonized and constantly improving business law, offering investment security. The ninth one is an efficient road network and international transit system that can give it the status of a hub in the UEMOA and ECOWAS region. And the last one, the 10th one, is the huge untapped potential in the field of agro-industry, mining, energy, tourism, and services. I will go by sector to give the potential, the opportunity of investment in Burkina Faso. The first one, the first and great sector is agricultural sector. The strength of the sector is that a political and institutional will display capable of boosting investment and growth in the agricultural sector. And a young, dynamic, enterprising farming population with a reputation for hardworking, a legislative and a regulatory framework conducive and sensitive to investment with an agricultural policy centered on the sector approach and promotion of agribusiness. A labor code guaranteeing freedom of hearing, employment, and dismissal. 70% of national territory, or approximately 19 million hectares, contain a great diversity of non-wood and wood forest products. Investors are expected in intensive and modern agriculture for speculation of their choice in agricultural and agro-industrial growth pool in popular Bagley, Valley de Suru, they call it Valley de Suru, Kompienga, Samandeni, etc. By 2020, Burkina Faso livestock sector is competitive and constitute a real lever for sustainable economic and social development. The contribution to the GDP is 18%. Burkina Faso is the first country breeding of West and Central Africa. I mean, this is the breeding sector. So you understand that I'm talking now the breeding sector. Burkina Faso is the first country breeding of West and Central Africa. Strong domination of the traditional farming system, extensive breeding and export of live cattle. The potential of the sector is the existence of a diverse and numerically important herd, the existence of significant genetic variability Weaving cultivates local plant species. The investment opportunities. Investor has expected for a realization of several projects such as construction of refrigerated slaughter houses, the installation of modern high-yield livestock farms, installation of processing unit for livestock products, like meat, liver, milk, etc. Installation of feed production units for livestock or poultry, the production of improved seeds in the field of forage crops. The other sector is the construction and real estate. The real estate construction within the framework of specific real estate program linked to the development of urban land and the construction of the cities. Realization in city of commercial activity zone, various activity zones. The third sector is the mine and quarries. Let's go straight to the investment opportunity in that sector. Investor has expected in several areas, notably in exploring and mining. Related services like catering, equipment maintenance, training center, housing, construction. The sector of energy. The investment opportunities are the construction of solar power plants, construction and operation of hydroelectric dams, electrification in rural areas, production of biofuels. In the industry sector, the investment opportunities are the transformation of agricultural and livestock products and byproducts, construction of building materials, the manufacture or assembly of equipment related to agricultural mechanization, tractors, trailers, etc., the production of mineral fertilizer based on rock phosphate, the classic cotton spinning. In the sector of education, the investment opportunity are the construction product of 45 technical and vocational training centers, project to build 13 science high school in the 13 regions of Burkina Faso, project for the electrification of public education establishment in Burkina Faso by the photovoltaic system, construction and equipment project for 2 technical platforms. In the sector of health, the investment opportunity are construction and operation of private healthcare facilities such as clinics, polyclinics, specialized treatment center, etc. Construction and operation of training infrastructure in the health professions, such as universities, schools, institutes. In the ICT sectors, the investment opportunity are networking of a national territory by optical fiber, backbone, regional backbones, development of Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity of WiMAX, development of electronic banking, let's see that in Burkina Faso, the business sector is well organized by the investment agency. The investment agency, and also by the Chamber of Commerce, which organize every year a forum, an international forum with all business enterprises to do business. So you are invited in Burkina Faso for that. The next one will be in 2001, hopefully. So I think that I have gave the precise point of investment in Burkina Faso. Thank you so much for the attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your participation, for your information. I just want to say that a few years ago, our delegation, headed of one of the representative of the Chamber of Commerce, visited to this forum in Ouagadougou. And, and of course, we would like to continue our relationship, and we will be very appreciate, Your Excellency, if you support us, if you assist us to develop our relation with the Chamber of Commerce in Burkina Faso. We will send you the special letter. So,
thank you so much.
Dear participants, it's a great pleasure for me now to invite our participant from the Arab Republic of Egypt, our friend, Ambassador Ihab Nasser, extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador. Mr. Nasser, it's a pleasure to see you in our platform. We have very positive experience of our cooperation. By the way, for the next year, we are planning 3 fairs in Egypt, in Cairo. And the next week, we're waiting also Mr. Kelani is the head of the Business Council, Belarus Egypt Business Council. So, Your Excellency, it's a great pleasure for me to pass the microphone for you. Please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ulakhovich. Thank you so much, my dear friend, and I'm glad to see you again. Despite it's a virtual meeting, I'm still looking forward to a face-to-face meeting in the soonest future. Well, allow me to proceed. Well, dear Mr. Ulakhovich, dear Ambassador Koltsov, dear ex-ambassadors of the African countries, dear honorable participants, it's a great pleasure for me to take part in this event, which hopefully will be the step in the right direction of developing the African-Belarusian relations, especially in the sphere of trade and economy. I would also like to express our gratitude for organizing such an event and bringing us all together to discuss such an important topic. As you all know, Egypt is one of the leading economies in the African continent with a very large and promising market. More importantly, Egypt presents a positive atmosphere for all kinds of economic activities, as the government is always supporting foreign trade and investment under a well-developed laws and regulations that create friendly atmosphere for the foreign trade and investment. On the African track, Egypt hosted a tripartite summit in Sharm el-Sheikh in 2015, which is an umbrella consisting of 3 African regional economic communities, namely the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, the East Africa Community, EAC, and the Southern African Development Community, SADC. In this summit, 26 African states signed free trade agreement, which was a pivot for the African continental free trade area that took place in 2018 in the capital of Rwanda, Kigali. Egypt ratified the agreement of the African continental free trade area among other African states. I'm glad to see the agreement coming into force to establish one of the world's largest free trade areas that includes all the African countries, which we are due to launch earlier next year. It's well known that the unique geographical location of Egypt creates a lot of opportunities to different markets to consider Egypt a hub for the African continent. And if we take into consideration that what I have just pointed out concerning the free trade agreements that Egypt is part of within our great African continent, this would make it very reasonable choice for any investment or trade prospects, which is looking for some larger market opportunities within Africa, as they can benefit from the free trade agreements that Egypt is part of. It's worth noting as well that Egypt has free trade agreements with the Arab countries, EU, Turkey, Mercosur, as well as EFTA, which adds to the geographical location an unbeatable advantage. The Egyptian-Belarusian cooperation within the sphere of trade and economy is of paramount importance for both sides. This cooperation was boosted by 3 presidential visits in the last few years, which reflects the intensive growth importance that both countries paid to their relations. However, both sides are willing to build this momentum and to develop the cooperation even more. The Embassy of Egypt in Moscow, accredited to Belarus, has always played a role in communicating with the Belarusian business communities and facilitating their work in Egypt. And the embassy will continue to play this role. I would like to seize this opportunity to assure the business community in Belarus my readiness and welcome to meet with the representatives of any Belarusian company interested in establishing and expanding its business cooperation with Egypt. I find it important to highlight the success story of business cooperation between Belarusian and Egyptian companies. Several companies from Belarus and their partners and their partner companies from Egypt joined forces for joint production of a wide range of products, including trucks, agro-machinery, and many other equipments targeting the local Egyptian market, as well as export to other markets. I believe that this form of cooperation allows the companies from both friendly countries to use the different advantages to offer competitive products, helping the economies and companies to grow in a more effective way. Despite the cooperation we achieved, I strongly believe that there is still a big room for further cooperation between Egypt and Belarus in various fields, especially the IT sector, agriculture, machine building, and many others. Egypt enjoys a well-developed infrastructure, a high growth rate, a big local market, and above all, a wide, solid network of free trade agreements with African countries, Arab countries, EU, Turkey, Mercosur, and EFTA. That adds extra advantage to the joint production produced in Egypt. I would like to drag your attention to one of the major projects that Egypt is now developing, which is the Suez Canal Economic Zone. We highly recommend our Belarusian partners to study the opportunities of establishing their businesses there. Russia is already a good example. The Russian side is in the process of establishing its own industrial zone in the Suez Canal Economic Zone, and Egypt welcomes any similar initiative from our Belarusian side. We are already engaged with our Belarusian friends in this regard, in different forms to attract the Belarusian and the Egyptian companies for further cooperation, for joint production. I intend to pay another visit soon, as I'm a frequent visitor to Minsk, of course, to Minsk, and I will be grateful if my dear friend, Mr. Ulakhovich, will extend his support to my idea of organizing a meeting with all the interested companies in Belarus, face-to-face, to discuss the possibility of further cooperation, and I invite you all to attend, and I will be so glad to engage in deep and open discussions with you. In the end, I would like to assure that Egypt is open to cooperate economically and in all spheres with Belarus, and the embassy would be glad to get in touch with all of you, of the participants of the events, to share views and thoughts concerning the economic cooperation under the scope of Africa-Belarus relations. Thank you so much, my dear friend, and thank you for the initiative.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your kind words. Thank you very much for your cooperation, for your participation in this event. We are waiting here in Minsk at any convenient time for you, please. As I mentioned, the next week we will be here together with Mr. Kelani. He's the co-chairman of our Business Council, Belarus, Egypt. You mentioned that Egypt is an umbrella, but for Belarus, I think Egypt also is a focal point for developing our cooperation with many African countries. And by the way, I would like to thank you also for motivation of organizing this seminar, because when we were in Egypt last February, when we saw the new hall for the meeting of the leader of the African countries in the new capital of Egypt, that will be motivation for organizing this kind of event. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now allow me to invite to the microphone Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ambassador of Namibia, His Excellency Mr. Clemens Handukeme Kashupulva. Your Excellency, just a few days ago we met here in the chamber with you. It's a pleasure that you are again with us in our online platform. Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. Our conference moderator, His Excellency Denis, Ledyan, the Second Secretary of the Foreign Economic Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Belarus. I also recognize His Excellency Dmitry, Koltsov, Head of Africa and the Middle East Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Belarus. Your Excellencies, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of African countries accredited to the Republic of Belarus, distinguished diplomats, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me really a great pleasure and honor, first to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Belarus video conference on Africa-Belarus current situation and new beacons for joint business project. Thank you also for the kind invitation extended to the Namibian Embassy in Moscow to make a brief account on Namibia's vision of current opportunities and the market niches for trade and economic cooperation with Belarus. Your Excellency, Second Secretary of Foreign Economic Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Belarus, I want to assure you first that Namibia is still applauding the political, the moral, humanitarian aid, the military training, the scholarship, and the numerous material support it received from the people of Belarus during the Soviet Union era, while it was waged the struggle for national liberation and swap of Namibia against the South African apartheid colonialism in our country. We always recall that difficult time when Namibian people received full support and assistance to attain national independence and sovereignty. Currently, Namibia is now 30 years of independence with a stable and multi-party democratic setup, with a free market economy, independent judiciary, press freedom, and a strong private sectors that supplemented the public sector to drive the economic and industrial growth of the country. The country has now a well set up foundation of infrastructural development and also a well-known world-class communication facilities that provide friendly investment opportunities to foreign investors, including Belarus. But of great importance, Your Excellency, Namibia has already established good bilateral cooperation with Belarus in 2016, where the two countries agreed to enter into reliable development partners in the development and implementation of mutually beneficial projects in the area of mining and energy, the area of trade and industry, the area of manufacturing and processing, the area of agriculture and agro-industry, the area of education, science and technology, the area of tourism, and also the area of transport and logistics. For the past 4 years now, there are also several memorandums of understanding made in the field of politics, in the field of Chamber of Commerce and Industry, higher education, and trade and economic cooperation that need full implementation between the two countries. Namibia is therefore a potential country for investment opportunities for Belarus. It is blessed with all kinds of mineral resources, ranging from diamond, we're talking about copper, uranium, zinc, gold, or gas. We're also talking about fluoride, salt, and non-fuel materials such as precious metals, base metal, industrial minerals, and construction materials. The country is also recognized as the fourth exporter of non-fuel material in Africa. It has several mines, just to mention a few: the Nantep, the Rosing, where we get uranium, the cobalt, the Ochase, where we can get copper, Okorosu, where we get gold, and several others mines that are still operating. The country is blessed with a beautiful fauna and flora, as well as many other beautiful places, a destination for tourists. It's also known as the gem of Africa. It is the gem of Africa because Namibia is blessed with the beautiful hubs of adventure, such as the Welwitschia fossil plant that is now 2,000 years old, the Kalahari oldest world desert. The Sosuflei has the sand dunes that change colors if you happen to go there on tourist. In the morning, it's a different color. In the afternoon, and also when the sun sets, these colors of the dunes are changing. We have also the Skeleton Coast, which is the world's biggest ship graveyard. The Zambezi Strip, formerly known as the Caprivi Strip, which is the wettest area with high rainfall, and the most populated elephant and crocodiles in the river of Kavango, Kwanto, Zambezi, and the Chobe River. It's so beautiful when it comes to tourists to visit those areas. The other areas are Spetskope. Spetskope is the highest bald peak in the Namib Desert that is almost 700 meters. And a very important one again is the Fish River Canyon, which is the second world canyon in the world, and the highest canyon in Africa. The other most important tourist destination that one cannot miss is the Cape Cross, which is the home of the few seals in the world. And the area that is well known for the Diaz Cross is elected there. And we are also talking about the Swakopmund, the highest coastal that is popular when it comes to beach resort. It's also the ancient German city with an attractive sandboarding place for horse riding, sport biking, and plenty of surf and sand. Then, because of the time factor, we are also talking about the Coleman Soap. It's one of the ancient German settlement where the first diamond of Namibia was discovered in 1908. It was named after Coleman. Mr. Coleman, when he entered in the Coleman Scope, he went there with Volkswagen. Now, because of the sand storm, he could not manage the flood the area. He left the Volkswagen there. That's why it's so popular and named after him. Currently, Coleman Scope is a ghost town, but it's really very much important for tourists. And we have also a special natural park and other important national park throughout the country that is stable competitive market. It is recognized by the London-based economic intelligence the whole Africa. Furthermore, what I can share with you, Your Excellency, Namibia is a politically stable country with a low crime rate, a sound labor relation, and a peaceful country for investment and tourism attractions. Its Foreign Investment Act of 1990 provides excellent incentives for foreign investors that guarantees investment security, non-discriminatory access to all sectors. It guarantees also access for foreign currency and international arbitration on cases of disputes, and a competitive incentive for investors. We have also an export processing zone that offer tax and duty-free to export-oriented enterprises, and also to manufacturer and exporters. Finally, Your Excellency, because of the time factor, Namibia is strategically located along the Atlantic Oceans, with the Walvis Bay harbor as a growth point that link the transport corridor to neighboring countries such as Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and DRC, and also linked to the Trans-Kalahari Highway, the Trans-Zambezi Highway, and serve as the gateway and investor destination for SADC and foreign other investors from Europe, Asia, and other continents. Namibia is a member of the World Trade Organization. It's a member of the European Union. It's a member of the Southern Africa Customs Union. And it's also a member of South African Development Community when it comes to trade and investment. In conclusion, Your Excellency, Namibia is one of the beautiful countries in Africa for trade and investment. It's also the best tourist attractive country in Africa for those tourists who are interested in hunting. Hunting is very much important there in Namibia. The country is having almost 400 registered trophy hunting farms, which is really very much important to many of the tourists throughout the world. I would like us to strengthen cooperation for investment in Namibia for the benefit of our two countries and our people. Against this background, Your Excellency, Namibia is thus envisioning to be a reliable development partner with Belarus for the development and implementation of future mutually and beneficial projects to the needs and the best interest of the people of the two countries. I thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your participation, for your information, and thank you very much again for your support concerning our request to establish our relationship with the Namibian Chamber. Namibia is very interesting and new destination for Belarusian businesses, and I'm glad that you are ready to support us for realizing all our project, what we decide here during the last hour meeting in the chamber. Of course, Namibia is very interesting and new destination for Belarusian businesses. As the South Sudan's the same. It's an absolutely new destination, and I'm sure it's a country with great potential, and we are ready to discover South Sudan as a business direction for us. So allow me to invite to the microphone extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador of Republic of South Sudan, Mr. Choltong Mayadjank. Your Excellency, please.
Thank you, Mr. Vladimir Ulakhovich, for this opportunity. I'm very grateful that got this opportunity at last to be in contact with Belarus since I came to Russia and designated as ambassador to Belarus. Have not been in contact with any authorities in Belarus. I think this is a great opportunity. The representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I also thank them, particularly for the presentation made by the Second Secretary of outlining all the opportunities in Belarus. My colleagues, Your Excellency ambassadors of different African countries, I greet you all. With this great opportunity, in fact, Republic of South Sudan, as all know, that is a new country in the map of in the world. The Republic of South Sudan is a landlocked country located in the east Central Africa. Neighboring to the north is Sudan, and to the east Ethiopia, to the west Central African Republic, to the south Uganda, and to the southeast is Kenya. So that's the location of South Sudan, and South Sudan is a member of East African country, East African Community, and equally is also a member of IGAD, Intergovernmental Authority for Development, which is also an East African group. Its territory is around 619,745 kilometers square. The demography of the Republic of South Sudan, its population is roughly 12 million. And out of this 12 million, 70% of it are young people. So it's the most youngest population in the world. 70% are of age 35 and below of this 12 million. The Republic of South Sudan got its independence in 9th July 2011. As you know, that it was part of Sudan for the rest of the years in independence, and we got our independence 9 years ago. Its capital city is Juba. That is the seat of the government. It is Juba. The Republic of South Sudan is major features being known of is the river Nile, White Nile, and its attributes, which comes from Uganda and goes all the way up to Egypt. The country is imbued with many natural sources, such as petroleum, gas, iron ore, copper, mica, silver, gold, timber, mahogany, and teak and ebony. These are there in abundance. The country mainly depends on the main economic activities in the country is agriculture, because we have an abundance of water and a very fertile agricultural land, and mostly produce the groundnuts, which is peanut, sorghum, millet, and wheat, and cassava, also maize. Of course, maybe it's not in the big quantities, but in good quantities, which can sustain the country. Also, the country has a huge number of cattle, that is cows, goats, and which is also a main source of living. The country, over 80% of the population are cattle keepers in the Republic of South Sudan, and then it is an opportunity, of course, for any investment. Belarus and Russia, they have really been in contact, particularly after the independence. The Belarusian tractors are well known in South Sudan. In 2 years back, South Sudan, I purchased over 1,000 tractors from Belarus. And in fact, these tractors were known even before the independence. As you know, these tractors have been purchased by the whole Sudan, and they were used in South Sudan. So the area of tractors, particularly the agro-business, is one of the areas of interest of South Sudan with Belarus, as well as in the area of the animal husbandry is also an area South Sudan is very interested to go in partnership with Belarus. The country is blessed with a varied flora and fauna. It is in South Sudan you find giraffe and a great variety of antelopes. Even the rare white rhino is in South Sudan. You see, you have gazelle, tiger, and also tiang is quite common. Lions, buffaloes. This makes South Sudan to be one of the most attractive tourist place, and therefore Belarusians are really invited if go and see these rare animals in the country. That will be of great opportunity. Of course, given the insecurity which has been there for the last 4 years, the tourist activities has not been that active. But now with the peace agreement which was signed in 2018, the country now is more stable, and the business opportunities are back, and tourism is resuming. Of course, South Sudan is a new country and has gone to war for that very short period. Its infrastructure is a bit poor, but of course it has one international airport, Juba International Airport, and it is connected with the rest of the world through Egypt Air, Ethiopian Air, and Fly Dubai is also comes there. So South Sudan is accessible by air, and also the road infrastructure is not that bad. The business, the investment opportunities available in the country are in all these areas. In the areas of gas and mining, is a very fresh area where really investors are welcome. In the area of agriculture sector, generally agriculture sector, as I said before. In the infrastructure sector, you see, it's very important road, and also in the area of power. And we have abundance of water. We also would like to develop the hydropower to the country, because that's also a very virgin area. In the areas of trade, business, and industry, particularly for the small and medium businesses, this also is an area where South Sudan and Belarus really can work. In South Sudan, we have fruit, which mangoes, bananas, guavas, all these could be taken. The area of health sector is also another area, as Belarus is very good in it, and would really like to encourage the Belarus health sector to invest in South Sudan, as well in the area of education. As I said before, tourism sector is an area where we encourage the Belarusian to also invest. There is Chamber of Commerce in South Sudan, and of course, really, as I will be hoping to meet with you soon, when maybe by first quarter of next year, I may be presenting my credentials to the president of Belarus. I think that will be an opportunity for us to meet and talk more of how the two countries could really come together. This where we'll connect the Chamber of Commerce of the Republic of South Sudan with the Chamber of Commerce of Belarus, and also the Investment Authority is there. And there are really very favorable laws for investment in the country, which can attract all sectors to come and invest in the Republic of South Sudan. Yeah, to conclude, I have to really thank the organizers of this forum. As I said, that already Belarus is being remembered in South Sudan of its structure. It's one of the best structures suitable for our soil, and we would like to really expand on that and on other sectors. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your very interesting and attractive information. And thank you very much for your intention to support our business relationship. And now, dear participants, we are going to the l'Afrique francophonie. And I would like to invite the Chancellor of the Republic of Djibouti, Embassy of Republic of Djibouti, Issa Abdelahi Assoveh. Please. No, unfortunately, I would like to ask one more time, Mr. Issa Abdelahi Assoveh, do you hear us? Okay, probably some technical problems. Let's go ahead, and then if it will be possible, we invite also our colleague from the Embassy of Djibouti. And now I would like to invite the representative of the Embassy of Gabon, Consular Diana Priskabaini Akimova. Your surname, it looks like Russian surname or Belarusian surname. Please.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity you gave me to present my beautiful country, which is constantly looking for new partners. The Gabonese Republic is a country situated on the west coast of Central Africa. Its population is estimated at around 2 million people. Its capital and largest city is Libreville, and the official language is French. Why should people invest in Gabon? Of course, for several reasons. A growing economy, a favorable business environment, a special economic zone for industrialists, political and social stability, strategic positioning, and a huge natural potential. Concerning strategic positioning, Gabon is located at the edge of the Congo Basin and the Atlantic Ocean. Gabon is an ideal gateway to the Central African regional market of 145 million consumers. The country is an exceptional platform of export to the world. I would like to underline that Gabon is a blessed country with a huge natural potential. Gabon is covered by 23 million hectares of tropical rainforest, equivalent to 85% of its surface area. This forest is part of a continuum of Congo's forest basin, which is the second green lung on the planet after the Amazon. Gabon also has an important fishing potential and a very favorable agricultural conditions. We have 85 kilometers of coastline, 900 potential mining sites, and Gabon is the second world producer of manganese after Russia. We have 200,000 per square kilometer of tropical forest covering 85% of the country. So in Gabon, we need investors in several sectors. So we have priority sectors. Just let me enumerate to you the most important of the priority sectors. Forestry sectors, as I've already said, forest is covering 85% of the country. So the Gabonese forest is more than 400 wood species. Agricultural sector, with a humid equatorial climate, Gabon has a significant agricultural potential. So Gabon's ambition is to be food self-sufficient by 2025. Fishing sector, mining sector, real estate sector. You know, Gabon is one of the most urbanized countries in the world, with 85% of its population living in urban areas. So that's why the demand on the real estate market is very high. Digital sector, tourism sector. Concerning tourist sector, Gabon has significant tourist potential. The country is covered by a tropical forest rich in biodiversity. Its flora and fauna contain the largest concentration of forest elephants on the continent, around 20,000 gorillas and over 700 species of birds, 70 species of reptiles, 190 species of mammals, including chimpanzee, and so on, and about 1,000 endemic plant species. So this natural heritage is particularly highlighted within the 13 national parks, representing 11% of the total area of the country. So we would like to develop ecotourism activities. And of course,
hello.
And of course, we'd like to develop hotel accommodation within the national parks. Another sector for investors, hydrocarbon and petrochemical sector, transport and logistics sector, and then energy and water sector. You know, we have some structure which help investors step by step. It's our National Agency for Investment and Promotion, and of course, our Gabonese Chamber of Commerce. You know, our capital is Libreville. In English, that means a town where people are free. So feel free to come and invest in Gabon. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Akimova. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we haven't any relationship, I mean, in the business level with Gabon, but that's really quite interesting to organize one day the business delegation to Libreville, Belarusian businesses, because I'm sure that we have very serious potential for cooperation with your country. And of course, we are waiting also positive reply from our partner from your country, I mean the Chamber of Commerce, for establish our relationship as a platform for cooperation between our businesses. Merci beaucoup. And now my technical staff said me that our participant from the Embassy of Djibouti on the line. So allow me to invite the Chancellor Issa Abdillahi Assover, please.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Little technical problem that has been solved by your kind people. Thank you very much. So, hello. I would like to be as succinct, as short as possible. I have so many things to say. Djibouti has so many things to offer, but unfortunately, we don't have much time. So let me be short and precise. Thank you very much. Well, the Republic of Djibouti is bordering the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea, and it's situated between Eritrea, Somalia, and Ethiopia. Djibouti is located, this is very important, on the second shipping route of the world, where transit 60% of world goods traffic. So just to tell you how important is the port and seas and services for the Republic of Djibouti. The Republic of Djibouti is also the route to the sea for African landlocked countries such as South Sudan, Ethiopia, and among others. Ethiopia particularly imports and exports account for more than 70% of the port activity at Djibouti container terminal. So Djibouti has a population of less than 1 million, and it is supporting Ethiopia's trade and furniture, which Ethiopia's population is more than 100 million persons. So Djibouti is a small but important country. Djibouti benefits from its highly strategic location. With access to the Gulf of Aden and Indian Ocean beyond, the country is a significant gateway to the Horn of Africa and the wider region of East Africa. So Djibouti is relying on this competitive advantage. Port, logistics, and associated services remain the dominant economic activity because the country has very limited natural resources or industrial or agricultural potential, but it continues to post impressive results. In 2014, the economy achieved a growth rate of nearly 6%. In 2019, it was 7%, according to estimates from the African Development Bank and the World Bank. So why is it safe and wise to invest in the Republic of Djibouti? Well, it is hard to ignore Djibouti's strategic location and importance. From the perspective of the West countries, this is a strategic country only, in the middle of the unstable Horn of Africa. It is home to the only US and China military base in sub-Saharan Africa, and the largest French foreign military base. The Japanese opened a base in the past few years to help the fight against piracy on the sea. But from an investor's perspective, Djibouti is a young country that presents untapped opportunities. Here are the 10 reasons to invest in Djibouti. It is located, as I said before, on the second shipping route, where transit 60% of the world traffic. The country is strategically positioned in the region to serve as hub for landlocked country in the hinterland. It enjoys political stability. This is why the whole world is opening offices in the Republic of Djibouti. National and foreigners alike enjoy the same rights when it comes to investment and legal issues. For example, foreigners can buy a land and invest in the country and has the same right than the local people. Its currency, the currency of the Republic of Djibouti, is the Djibouti franc, and it's linked to the US dollar, and it's freely convertible with a weak inflation rate. That means that you can come invest whatever you want, and if you're not happy, you can go and take your money. Nobody will stop you. It has financial system free of exchange control, which allows you totally free currency transfer. Its economy is development oriented and it's in full swing with major infrastructure projects. Its telecom system ranks among the best in Africa with station of CMIWI and EIG submarine fiber cables. Investment operations in the country are eligible for funding and insurance coverage from regional and international financial institutions. So the last point is not the least. Our friend, the ambassador of Egypt, has already talked about it, but I'm forced to talk about it again. Djibouti is natural gateway to a market over 100 million of direct neighbor, which is Ethiopia, 200 million of consumers, which are the sub-regional countries of IGAD, and more than 400 million, which are the regional country of COMESA. Thanks to Ambassador of Egypt, I will not come back on that. So to facilitate all this development of Djibouti, we have a major tool, which is the Djibouti Free Zone. Djibouti Free Zone is has become one of the biggest, and is intended to become the biggest in the country. So we'll start first by the small free zone, Djibouti Free Zone. It was in operation since 2004. It has been contributing to the creation of a welcoming business environment for investment and regional trade in Djibouti. And so while the DIFTZ, which are the bigger one, has opened in 2018, trade and marketing hub for import activity, warehousing, processing, and re-exporting of goods to and from East Africa was its intended goal. So it has 40 hectare area close to Djibouti's port and airport, and warehouses of respectively 614 square meters and 1,340 square meters, square kilometers. Sorry, I'm a French speaker. I'm trying to pronounce English as good as I can. And services, land plots with utility, and 100 foreign ownership, free repatriation of capital and profits, exemption of corporate and income tax, flexibility to employ foreign nationals, possibility to sell on to local market, and no currency restriction. Now for the International Free Trade Zone. It was officially inaugurated in 2018, like I said, under the auspices of the head of state of neighboring countries like Djibouti, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Sudan, Somalia, and Eritrea, as well as the chairperson of the African Union Commission and key shareholder like China merchant companies. So the initial phase of 340 hectare zone is the result of 370 million investment and consists of 3 functional blocks located close to, of course, Djibouti 6 major ports, because Djibouti has now 6 major ports. The free zone is equipped with advanced facility, of course, like high-speed telecommunication, power, water supplies, roads, and parking lots. The pilot zone has 4 industrial clusters which focus on trade and logistics, export processing, and business support. So it has these 4 clusters. If you want me, I can develop it later, but to save time, let's pass to the next one. It is a hub for the region. The project also creates major business opportunity for Djibouti, but not only for Djibouti, for the East Africa, for the region, for the East African region, as the region's export, manufacturing, and processing capacity expanded in key sectors like food, automotive parts, textiles, and packaging. But now, with the Djibouti's opening its Demerjok Industrial Development Specialized Free Trade Zone. So the Djibouti Demerjok Industrial Developed Free Trade Zone is an industrial free trade zone focused on heavy industry, including oil, gas, ship repair, and livestock. So the incentive are like company registered in this free zone will enjoy a favorable tax policy, including 0 VAT, dividend tax, corporate income tax, property tax, and personal income tax. So you can see it's exciting to come invest in Djibouti. But now the other major incentive to invest in Djibouti is the investment code. So in Djibouti, we have Djibouti imposes no joint venture operation with the national citizen. If a foreigner wants to invest in it, the business legislation established a legal equality between local and foreign investors. So can you imagine? Any investor can freely repatriate profits without restrictions. The tax benefits for example, for an investment of a minimum amount of $28,000, an investor shall benefit from the advantages of the region A, which are the following tax exemption. Exemption from domestic consumption tax and import taxes for the material necessary to the realization of its investment program, as well the raw materials and used effectively during the first 3 years. For a minimum amount investment of $281,000, an investor shall benefit from the advantage of the region B, which are the following exemption. Again, exemption from land and tax construction of building for a period of 7 years. My goodness. So let's continue. Now Djibouti, the only obstacle for this was the energy to Djibouti. And now we have developed the energy. So since 2013, which is the commencement of the Vision 2035, much of this potential has been actualized. The potential of energy, I mean. The creation of the Djibouti geothermal power generation, a power plant in Lake Assal, was announced in 2018. Construction began after $50 million in funding, and that was secured by the World Bank. So moreover, a $390 million solar farm is under construction in the southern Djibouti. The first ever renewable energy project in Djibouti was approved this year in 2020, and its impact on the country's underdeveloped energy sector will be massive. It consists of 59 megawatts wind farm, in addition to the solar farm, that will be located near the Gubet in the Gulf of Tajarrah on a 395-hectare site, and should be operational on the mid-2021 with a cost of $65 million that has been taken in charge by a consortium of the Dutch Development Bank, the African Finance Corporation, and the Great Horn Investment sold, well, a lot of people. I will pass on that. So therefore, this new farm, in addition to the solar farm, will lift the only obstacles that could bring investors to invest in Djibouti and to expand to the region. So, my friend, I will stop it here because other things has been said, and to save time, you are welcome to Djibouti. You have a lot of opportunity, and even though Djibouti is a small country with a small population, you have millions of people that you can reach through Djibouti. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Monsieur Conseiller, for your dynamic and informative presentation.
Thank you.
Nigeria, it's one of the very important actors in Africa. It's a very big country. And for me, as a chairman of the chamber, it's a pleasure to see here in our conference representative of the Embassy of Nigeria, Chargé d'Affaires, Merci Haruna. For example, my deputy chairman, ex-deputy chairman, now our ambassador in Nigeria. So we met here in the chamber several times with ambassador, and we are planning a lot of things. We organized 2 years ago national exposition in the fair in Nigeria. So please, Chargé d'Affaires, Merci Haruna, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Mr. Vladimir Ulakhovich. Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished participants. I am honored to participate in this online conference organized by the Belarus Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm delighted to share the prospects of ramping up sustainable trade and investment activities in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The prospects of doing profitable business with Nigeria through both outflow and inflow of investment are indeed very bright. Today, I would like to talk to you about Nigeria's business environment and why it is profitable to do business in Nigeria. Nigeria in sub-Saharan Africa is an emerging economy with tremendous opportunity for international market exploitation. Today, Nigeria boasts of the largest market in Africa with a population of about over 200 million people. It is expected to grow to approximately 400 million by 2050. This would make Nigeria the third most populous nation in the world behind China and India. Nigeria's economy is poised to grow 7.1% yearly until 2030 and build a $1.6 trillion economy. By 2050, Nigeria's economy is projected to be at the top 10 in the world, with a projected GDP of US $6.4 trillion. I would like to present to you the 6 priority sectors for investment. Given her desire to boost economic development and provide investment opportunities, Nigeria, through the Economic Recovery Growth Plan, has identified the following 6 priority sectors for investment. Agriculture, focusing on crop production, livestock, fishing, and forestry. The Nigerian government has put in place incentives to assist farmers modernize or grow their business, which include but not limited to the following: as providing subsidized inputs to smallholder farmers, increasing access to financing, the Anchor Borrowers Program, and the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending. The second priority sectors for investment is manufacturing. The largest manufacturing subsectors are agro-processing, comprising food, beverages, and tobacco, light manufacturing, including textile and wood products, and resource processing, cement and basic metals. You can also invest in solid minerals. The Nigerian government is seeking investment in quarrying and other mining to exploit the 44 known types of minerals of varying mixes and proven quantities, some of which are located in concentrated areas or regions. Also, you can invest in services. Nigeria boasts of investment potentials in telecommunications and information and communication technology, financial services, tourism, creative industries. In financial services, the low penetration of insurance suggests strong growth potential. Creative industries, such as the movie industries, like the Nollywood, are experiencing sustained high growth. The 5th priority area, construction and real estate. Nigeria has a huge construction deficit, particularly in housing. Therefore, the government has proposed a family homes fund designed to stimulate the construction sector, while improving access to social housing. It will operate as a PPP with an expected fund target of 1 trillion naira. And lastly, oil and gas. The mainstay of Nigeria's economy, oil and gas continue to be attractive investments, particularly investments in refineries and petrochemicals. Nigeria has proven reserves of 38 billion barrels of oil and 187 trillion cubic feet of gas, making it the 10th largest oil producer in the world and the 7th largest owner of proven gas reserves. These are areas you can invest in. The Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, in partnership with the Federal Inland Revenue Service, has issued the first edition of a compendium of tax and sector-wide fiscal incentives. It's called the compendium, to promote awareness about the investment opportunities in Nigeria. The compendium focuses on investment policies and protections for foreign investors, general tax-based incentives, sector-specific incentives, tariff-based incentives, export incentives, and specialized economic zones. This compendium will provide most of the information you need on investments in Nigeria. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the economic initiatives of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration have created a platform for profitable trade and investment partnerships at the government-to-government, as well as business-to-business levels, or a combination of both. I firmly believe that meaningful engagement of the private sectors and the commitment of business leaders is imperative for exploiting business opportunities in Nigeria. We rest assured Nigeria is open and ready for business with all potential investors. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation, for your information. It was so pleasure for us because you have visited to our events organized at the Chamber of Commerce several times, and we established very good relationship. That's important now to capitalize for the concrete project and concrete result, our common intention. So dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, now we're back to the Minsk, but online, because two last speakers, they are in Minsk, because we have the Embassy of Sudan and Belarus here in Minsk, and also our friend of the Chamber, Honorary Consul of Zambia, also here in Minsk. So first of all, I would like to pass the floor to the Chargé d'Affaires of Republic of Sudan in Belarus, Amal Mohammad Al-Gassim. Please. Probably please switch on your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, everything is okay, please.
Thank you. I'd like to start my statement by thanking the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Belarus for providing this opportunity for Sudan and other African countries to discuss and reflect the current investment situation and future opportunities and potentials. Also, I'd like to stress the importance of collaboration with the Republic of Belarus to the Sudanese government and to the business sector in Sudan. The past few years has witnessed an essential development in the economic relations between Sudan and Belarus, which resulted in the establishment of a number of projects, most important of which is the construction of the grain soils. This project is given a due consideration by Sudan, as it can contribute to enhancing the level of food security in Sudan. Once again, I'd like to emphasize the commitment of my country towards the successful implementation of the project. And in this regard, I would like to note the efforts made by the Ministry of Energy and Mining, representing the Sudanese side of the Sudan-Belarus Ministerial Committee for Development of Economic Trade and Technical Cooperation to overcome the obstacles facing the implementation of development projects in general. Despite the difficult times that the country was going through, which affected almost every sector in Sudan, I'm glad to state that the internal situation is finally continuing to improve following the signing of the peace agreement. And the leadership is now more focused and open in terms of investment and partnership projects aiming at promoting economic welfare, given that Sudanese economy has a promising future because Sudan is gifted with many natural resources alongside with its unique geographic location, which reflects great potentials for the economy in general and the agricultural sector in particular. Sudan has 175 million hectares of arable land, only 25 of which is currently under cultivation, contributing to around 30% of the GDP. Given the availability of the irrigation and natural water resources and stability for its soil and climate to cultivate a number of strategic products such as gum arabic. In addition to that, activation of the agricultural sector can contribute to the stimulation of the industrial sector in the field of agro-industrial products. Sudan land is also gifted with diverse types of minerals due to the diversity of the country topographic nature, where gold is considered to be the most important mineral with reserve that amounts to 533 tons and only 20% of lands rich in gold being exploited. And 80% of course is still waiting for exploitation. Alongside with gold, Sudan land is also rich in other minerals such as iron, silver, zinc, platinum, and many other minerals located in different parts of the country. In addition to natural minerals, Sudan is also known for its livestock wealth and is considered as one of the largest meat exporting countries in Africa, as it possesses livestock wealth estimated by 106 million heads and 110 tons of fisheries. Investment in livestock and its related fields, such as leather processing, is considered a very promising field due to the limited number of factories specialized in processing food and leather products compared to its domestic and international consumption. Given that leather production are considered the second largest export of Sudan, with revenues estimated by $40 million. All wealth is fodder production. In Sudan, Sudan is witnessing a reasonable growth due to increasing demand, both proceeds more than 1 billion tons annually. Regarding transportation and infrastructure fields, Sudan is considered Africa's third largest country, bordered by 7 countries that has 4 ports and maritime harbors, with Port Sudan being the main seaport of the country, handling most of Sudan's external trade, as well as total area of paved roads approximated by 4,320 kilometers. The country also has corridors that connects it to more than 10 countries in the region through 2 main corridors, and has a space of 4,578 kilometers of railroads connecting large parts of Sudan, and also contributing to the trade flow internally and with neighboring countries. I conclude by clarifying that Sudan government very great interest in investment projects already established with the Republic of Belarus, which my country considers as international, and is very encouraged to involve in more promising investments that can bring about productive collaboration between the two countries. Finally, I would appreciate if Mr. Ulakhovich, head of the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce, could organize a meeting in order for us to elaborate more in terms of joint collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind words. As I mentioned, the participants, last but not least, not less important, as I mentioned, our friend of the Chamber of Commerce, Alexander Zaitsev, Honorary Consul of Republic of Zambia in Belarus. Alexander, please.
Nice to meet you, colleagues, here in the conference. And first of all, I wanted to express my great pleasure to see again my big friend, Mr. Ulakhovich, the chairman of our Chamber of Commerce. So, a few words about Belarusian and Zambian relations and the possibilities of Zambia. The Republic of Zambia is a large, landlocked and resource-rich state in the center of South Africa. And maybe many of us know Zambia's very rich in mineral resources. First of all, metallurgical raw materials, copper, cobalt, as well as zinc, lead, silver, gold, different types of precious stones, energy, raw materials, let's say coal and uranium. The country is the second largest copper producer in Africa. Zambia has significant hydropower potential, allowing not only to meet the energy needs of the national economy, but also to export electricity to neighboring countries in the South African region. The main driver of economic growth of country I am representative was the sustainable development of the processing and the mining industry, as well the construction, transport, and the communications sector. We has good started last years in agricultural business, and in particular its leading segments, which are food and tobacco industries. So exactly, many of you has marked today some difficulties because of COVID. However, despite the difficult economic situation in Zambia, also caused by the pandemic, the Zambian market continues to attract investors with three niches in development dynamics. Over the past few years, Zambia has pursued a policy of fast-tracked industrialization, encouraging the creation of industrial parks and multi-facility economic zones, modeled after the Chinese example. The sectors of Zambian economy that are most attractive to entrepreneurs and investors are the next: energy, first of all, agriculture, food production, mining, infrastructure, telecommunications, medical services, housing construction, tourism, first of all based across the river of Zambezi, education as well. At present, the commodity structure of the Zambian and Belarusian trade are largely radar. Although the current level of trade and economic relations between Zambia and Belarus cannot be called high, Zambia, represented by its top leadership, representatives of states, elites, and business communities, has traditionally demonstrated its confidence in Belarus as a reliable business partner and only in its interest in development of mutual benefit trade and investment cooperation. So I have been participant of this first stage contacts, and I can to assure Your Excellency that we are in a good progress and started with first contracts already. As the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Zambia and the Republic of Belarus, I would like to express my hope for productive and mutual benefit development of our bilateral relations, Belarusian and Zambia, and assure that the consulate is ready to assist those who are interested in developing cooperation in all areas of potential interaction. So I see we have more than 100 participants, not only speakers, but participants who paid attention for our conference. We have a list of them. Many of them are representatives of Belarusian enterprises and Belarusian companies. So I think it would be good with your assistance, I mean about Chamber of Commerce, to contact us, and we will support for their possible interest. I would also like to express my hope for productive, mutually beneficial development of Belarusian African relations. As a representative of Belarusian business and the owner of Sofra Group of Companies. Sofra Group of Companies is diversified structure and operates in the field of integrated supply of a wide range of commodities items. Leading Belarusian manufacturers, including supply of mining equipment and its maintenance, a structure that has experience in creating necessary conditions for successful promotion products to a new market, and has also already provided its worth being a dealer of largest manufacturing plants of Belarus in a number of African countries. In addition, my group of companies has experience in implementing a number of projects in the field of geological exploration and mining in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Belarus. The group of companies also proposes to consider the possibility of supplying products of Belarusian enterprises, primarily heavy equipment, as well food products, including milk, powder, butter, any other dairy products, also alcoholic and not alcoholic drinks to Africa, as well as supplies of fruits, vegetables, coffee, and wine to the Republic of Belarus. Me and our secretary has marked very attentively all the possibilities that previous speakers has noted to their countries, and I also wanted to express my pleasure. We are one of the biggest Belarusian importing companies, but not only to Belarus, to our neighbor countries, Russia and Kazakhstan as well. And soon we will ask with our letters via Chamber of Commerce for more additional information for some positions to supply. So we wanted to buy from Africa many as well, first of all, agriculture and fruits, vegetables, products, and as well meat products. So I'm looking forward with a big pleasure and big delight for our cooperation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Alexander. You know, I'd like to say you that it's a very good example when our businessmen at the same time also representatives from African country here. It's a very good practice, very positive practice, and I'm sure that's it's a big privilege for Zambia when you representative here at the practical level. So thank you very much.
Your Excellency, started with Zambia because we need to make our turnover bigger. It was really zero level, but we are also active in some other countries. You know, we have some factory in Ghana. You know, we have in Zimbabwe our service center, and I hope we will increase our operation in other country, and we'll do many for our bilateral relations.
So that means your focal point for African businesses here in Minsk. Why not?
Why not?
We support it. And as you mentioned also, as our friend ambassador of Egypt, Mr. Ihab Nasser mentioned, that of course, when we discuss at the level of the bilateral relationship, we understand that Africa, it's also the big free trade zone, so-called, because we are also looking for working at the sub-regional level. With, for example, our experience cooperation with Egypt, it's also cooperation in the framework of the assembly unit of the machinery of Belarus, and then distribute the common products to all African neighboring countries and big sub-regional in Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, our official program is over, and now it's a time for the brief conclusion. We received also requests from our ambassador in Cairo, Mr. Terentiev, for brief remarks. Please, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for unity, and thank you again for the wonderful idea of holding this seminar. Thank you for all the support your chamber provides to the development of relations, not only with Egypt, but with all the countries of Africa. Just some notices from my side. I want to mention that, of course, we are in Africa, but we come to Africa not just as exporters. We do come to Africa suppliers of technologies. We do supply education, we do supply grants, we do supply very sophisticated equipment, which is really crucial for sustainable development of the continent. And what is more important for our African colleagues, maybe for some representatives of Belarusian businesses, we have infrastructure. We have infrastructure to support business. Our Bank of Development of Belarus has very strong, very good relations with Bank, African Export-Import Bank. Then we have good relations with TDB Bank, Bank of Commerce, which do provide opportunities to facilitate financing for our joint projects. So let's not forget about these opportunities, which are very good for our trade, which are very good for our investment, for our joint projects in the region. So, dear colleagues, are not newcomers on the continent. We are ready to make new steps ahead. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Terentiev, for your remarks. So for the conclusion, dear participants, allow me to say a few words for the conclusion. First of all, I'm absolutely satisfied for our common jobs. It was very interesting, very important, very attractive information concerning each countries what we have here in our agenda. Of course, we distribute this information, your presentation, all our potential partners here, I mean Belarusian companies, on the platform of the chamber. And of course, I'm sure that for some countries as a new direction of our business cooperation, also we distribute, we sent our letter to potential partner, I mean the chambers in African states. Besides of information, also it was very important, our common excellent job, because together we demonstrated for Belarusian companies, as I mentioned, it's over than 200 companies on the line together with us, demonstrate that there is an institutional structure for support. I mean chambers, embassies, Belarusian embassies in Africa, your embassies are accredited in Belarus. It's a very positive impact, very positive signal for all our business society. And now I would like to address also to all our businesses. We receive, as I mentioned, the big list of your question, your suggestion, your project. Of course, we already passed to embassies to concerning all your requests, all your suggestions, all your projects. During the last, this meeting, we also received the new question, new comments. Of course, for us, it's a homework. I would like to pass this message to all our companies that this homework, it's a homework for the chamber, and please, we guarantee that all your comments, all your questions, we try to pass to our embassies, try together to find the solution, to find the answer for all your questions. Be sure that's very important for the chamber homework, and we will be very appreciate all our diplomats if your excellency, distinguished diplomat, support us in this job and to find the potential partner for some Belarusian companies to answer to the question and organizing this online platform for developing our businesses. I'm sure that's very important and very serious result will be result of our conference. Of course, it was a mosaic of the just 9 countries of Africa, but Africa, it's a big continent, 54 countries, very different, very exotic sometimes, very interesting. And our common intention to develop our relationship, to use our relationship, what we have already, for develop our relation with neighboring African countries, with all our partners. For the conclusion, I also would like to ask a few words of our from our Ministry for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Koltsov, Head of Africa and Middle East Department. Dmitry, please.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all participants. And we see a great potential for increase in the volume of mutual trade, its diversification, as well as for implementation of joint projects. Belarus maintains, successful cooperation in different spheres with a number of African countries, and we're ready to support all initiatives of our African partners. In conclusion, I wish to all participants success and good health in such difficult conditions of the pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Koltsov. I would like to add also some practical information. Belarus Chamber of Commerce, according with the law, also national coordinator of a national exposition outside of Belarus in the international fair and exhibition. And we have the agenda for 21 concerning the Africa. I would like to announce our events, what in our agenda, if of course the condition allow us. In April will be a Belarusian national exposition in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, 20th of April. In Ethiopia, agri-food fair in June, in Addis Ababa, June 3rd. Agritech Africa in Kenya, Nairobi in June 16. SciTex and Big 7, it's a traditional fair in Johannesburg in South Africa. In June also, 20th of June, the Big 5 construction in Egypt. Of course, Egypt, it's a very important partner for Belarus. That will be in June. Also will be a fair in Algiers, FIA, machinery and energy. In June, then FILDA in Angola, in Luanda, in July, Industrial Week in Egypt again, and Food Africa in Egypt in December. So, of course, it's an opportunity to invite our potential partner from neighboring country. When we organize the business delegation, for example, in Luanda or in Cairo, of course, that will be much easier to invite your business society to organizing the business meeting, face-to-face meeting between Belarusian business delegation and business from your country. Please use this possibility. We will send this information all embassies concerning our activity in Africa. And I would like to repeat, dear diplomats, dear partners, distinguished ambassadors, please, if you need some information, some additional information concerning Belarus, some information concerning the business, if some your businessman wants to visit the Belarus, please don't hesitate to touch us, to inform us, the Chamber of Commerce and our mission to support the business relationship. And we are open 24 hours for you. Please don't hesitate to touch us. And for the conclusion, thank you very much again for your participation. We are really very appreciate for your participation, for your presentation, for your information. Unfortunately, this year it's a year under pandemic situation, but I'm sure the next year we received the possibility to organize our meeting face-to-face. But now only online. I would like to all of you, your families, to wish you all the best. The good health, very important wishes in this year. And of course, near we received 21. So Happy New Year, everyone. And please, welcome to Belarus, online or offline, we are ready always. Thank you very much again for your participation. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Just